Hey, thank you for watching Skratch Snobs. In this episode, we each talk about what live event we attended that impacted us the most as DJs, right?
Yeah, sure, Mike.
Alright, cool. I was at the '96 DMC US Finals in San Francisco, where Swamp got first, and second was Sinista, and third was Babu.
Really?
Yeah, I was there. Have you seen that video?
I don't think so.
I'll just talk about the battle first. Well, I was there. I'm actually in the video. During Swamp's set, he's doing some shit, and just everyone in the crowd was digging it, so we were all kind of like cheering, and I'm in the video, like little young me with the UCLA hat on. The rest of the battle is on YouTube, but what was really special about being there in person that night is because after the battle, man, all these fucking DJs performed that were, still are, like the DJ heroes of mine, right? Like Qbert performed, pretty sure Mixmaster Mike did. I know Shortkut did because they got the audio from him strobing Art of Noise in the video. That was the first time I had ever seen Rob Swift anywhere, I'd never seen him on a video even. It was just a tight ass event because obviously they recorded the battle and there's video of the battle on YouTube, but all these performances afterward by all the DJs I named who were, previous champs already. Yeah, that's cool. Like, I don't know if that footage is out there, I'd like to see it, but to my knowledge, I haven't seen it on YouTube. It was the most impactful for me because that was at a time when I was just about to start battling, or I had just started battling, and man, it really, that night being there in person made me really understand beat juggling, because prior to that, I had only seen someone beat juggle on a VHS, right? And you're watching it on your TV. At the time, we had little ass TVs that sounded like shit, right? So I was like, oh, what are they even doing with, he's using 2 copies of the record. I don't know, it sounds all right. I didn't really get it. But man, when you hear those guys do the beat juggles on big ass speakers with like subs and all that bass, like, it's like, oh, I get it. That's when beat juggling became like my favorite shit. Cause like scratching, you can easily appreciate that on, even small speakers. But man, when you hear a beat juggle on big speakers, that's the shit.
So where was this as far as your DJ career? Like, yeah.
I had just either was just about to start battling or had just started battling. It was like
so
pretty early.
Pretty early. So when you went to this event, what compelled you to go, and who did you go with?
Oh man, shit's fucking funny. It brings back a lot of funny memories, so you got me. Here we go. There weren't as many DJ events or material, all this content people watch of DJs nowadays online. It wasn't like that back then, so like when you got to see anything DJ related, it was like super rare, right? And I lived in Sacramento. There's a lot of dope DJs in Sacramento now, but back then I hardly knew any, right? So anytime there's anything DJ related, especially something huge like the US Finals, and with DJs that I knew about, like Babu and Melo-D, like yeah, I was gonna go to that. And no matter what, like I would have gone by myself. Sacramento's like 2 hours from San Francisco. I would have gone by myself if I had to, but I ended up going with my cousin Fritzy and like her roommate Hannah and their homie Shane. Like just my cousin and 2 kind of randoms. I didn't really know those folks. So
how old were you at the time?
96, 97, so I was like 19. None of the 3 of them are into DJing at all, but they just went because, we were young. It's like, fuck it, I'll roll,
So was that your first DJ battle that you ever attended?
Man, that's where I get the years mixed up. It was definitely the first major one I had attended.
Okay. Given that was the US Finals, what was like the feeling, the atmosphere, the environment? Where were you standing as far as the crowd? Like you said, Swamp killed it, you never heard it. So who were you familiar with that was competing?
Definitely Babu and Melo-D. I don't think I really knew. I don't think I heard of Roli Rho until that night. Roli, who we just did a video with, so check that one out. Man, I had never heard of Swamp or Roli. I might have heard of I think I knew about the X-Men, so I probably knew about Sinista. So yeah, I knew about those guys.
Sweet. Okay, then so what was the environment like? Was it
Oh
like
man,
intense
it was in like a fucking warehouse or some shit. It was like, it was not in no Palace of Fine Arts. It was like someplace kind of grimy, you know?
Okay.
I mean, not
Was
like
it elbow
not like
to elbow?
shitty, like
Was it the crowd?
it was not like shitty or polluted. I just
Yeah.
mean it wasn't fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were standing. It was standing room only, right?
Yeah.
I think there was like an overhead balcony, so you could watch. You could go up there too and watch, but the
Yeah.
view, you know, you were way above the competitors, and there was like a ledge, so you can.
Yeah.
You were better off standing on the
Yeah.
floor, which is where I was. I mean, you know, it was just.
Was it pretty intense? Like,
You know,
how did the audience
People were-
receive the DJs?
You know, I'll kind of say,
Yeah.
like, nowadays you go to a battle, like everybody's pretty polite, we all respect each other and shit. And then back in the day, like before our time in the like 80s, you know, man, the crowds didn't give a fuck. They would boo you. Man, they didn't give a fuck. Like,
So yeah, how was it like?
well, it was
Yeah.
somewhere in between the two. It was, you know, it wasn't as intense as like the new music seminar days, you know, like the Superman battles. It wasn't that crazy where they would like boo you off the stage,
Yeah.
but it wasn't as polite as things are today now. It was in the middle.
What was like the main like memories you from that? Like, as far
Oh
as,
man, man.
You
I
said
really
juggling. You understood.
Yeah,
something.
no,
Like,
that-
who stood out to you? Like, oh wow, like I didn't understand.
You know, Swamp shit just came off so clean, and it was, you know, some of the patterns were simple or whatever, but they were hitting hard. He did them clean, you know, and that's what it's all about.
Did he really stand out compared to the other competitors?
Oh, you know, he did a little of everything. He was beat juggling. He was doing body tricks. Everything was clean.
As far as like you said, like you had a new understanding and appreciation of juggling.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah, what or who set, you know, or parts
who
of sets like
sets
it's like
did that?
oh yeah.
Man, I mean, pretty much everyone who juggled, man, because like, you know, it makes a big difference when you hear the juggling loud.
How many finalists were there?
Big speakers. I want to say there were 6, 3
Oh,
from
only
each
6.
coast. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was, you know,
Oh, I didn't know there
it
was
was even harder to get into the US Finals back then. There was only a few of them. Anyway, yeah, no, when I say everyone who juggled, I mean it. Like everyone who juggled and did a clean beat juggle, it was so loud, you know, and it made me realize like what it was really supposed to sound like, and that's when I got really into it.
At this time, did you have your equipment? Were you practicing already?
You know, I definitely had 1200s. I probably had like a Gemini, you know, with the shit with the transform switches. That might have been before your time. Old mixer.
What's the name of the?
PMX 15A.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's fucking old school. But yeah, it was dope. You know, one thing I remember about that battle, I mean, I think we talked about it in our video with Melo-D. Like, this was before they had hamster switches, so he had some trick where he...
Is it when it got his?
Yeah, he was trying to turn the mixer around to face the other way. I think something got unplugged. It shut down the whole thing, and he had to, you know, your set's not gonna be the same after something like that. So.
From that, were you like, oh, I want to be a battle DJ? Did you get that sense?
I knew I wanted to do this stuff. I don't know. Like I said, I don't even remember. Maybe I had already entered a battle at that time already. Maybe not, but I was definitely. I guess I was gonna do it either way after that.
As a battle DJ, so you being a spectator going to and watching the US Finals, and then you competing at the 99 ITF US Finals, and then now competing again like 20 years later. Like how are those
Damn, it's been
experiences
that
for
long.
you? You know, how are the experiences for you?
It has been that long.
Mentally and like how, you know, is
Oh, like the
same or
whole
like,
thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely changed. I mean, because you change as a person over 20 years, so you.
So what's
you know,
changed for you as at that time?
Back then, it was just about, all I gave a fuck about was who's the baddest. I was just really into DJing and turntablism, and whoever succeeded in that, that's who I was excited about, you know, because that's what I was into.
Okay.
But being older, like, I know about stuff besides just DJing, so like, I know a little bit about the business world, so I admire, you know, the Elon Musk's of the world. You know what I mean? So like back then, that was it, you know, for me. And now it's like one of many cool things that I like or that I have some knowledge about.
Okay.
So it was my world, in other words. And now it's like
focused.
And now it's just
more
one of my favorite parts of the world.
Okay. How has your battle experience, like just from when you were competing in the 90s and then now, like how is I guess the experience for you, like the day of, like the jitters or like the...
Oh, you know what?
Is it the same or like do you mentally prepare differently or how does it feel for you? Does it feel different?
You know, I think I just forgot how hard this shit was. You know what I mean? Like, because I had done well in some battles here and there, so I kind of, you know, you get it in your mind, I've succeeded at this kind of thing before, and no reason I can't do it again. And you can do it again, but what you might have forgotten is just how much it really takes. I mean, like back then, I wasn't, we talked about this before, me and you, like, I wasn't making beats, I wasn't making records, I was just practicing routines for battles, and that's it. And, you know, back then, I was probably practicing, like, juggling routines and battle routines year round. So if I wanted to throw together something good, like, I probably could in like a month or whatever.
Yeah.
But now, like, I have other things that take up time, you know, even just in music, like I said. And yeah, you know, I can make a routine in a month, but will it be as good as back then when I was practicing all year and then I made a routine in a month? Like, there's a difference. So that's the difference between what I was doing then and now.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. All right, Mike, anything else you want to share?
That's it. Thanks for asking good questions. It's a neat memory to have being there.
All right, now we're gonna switch hats. He's gonna be the interviewer.
Hey, Akiko, I have a question for you.
Yeah, Mike, what's up?
So what live event have you attended that made the most impact on you as a DJ?